Let's look at the camera creator tool. When you scroll down to your Pixvalue tools on the shelf, you're going to see an icon of a camera with a plus sign. Hit that tool. Once it's activated, it should load up and look like this. So I'm going to walk you through all the options we have. The first one is base camera name. This is what your camera name is going to be. We like to put 1,000, just so that you have more space in between shots. So the reason why we usually like to use 1,000 is in case you have shots you want it before a particular sequence. You can always go in the 50s and 30s and then 20. Your downside of starting your shot at shot 1, if you want a shot before, then you want to start going to the negative, which is not a good practice. So I always go to start with 1,000. Number of cameras. There's the cameras. How many cameras is going to be created? Put like 2. So the 2 is going to create those 2 cameras. Numbering interval. This determines the interval between each camera that is created. So right now we're going to use 10. Focal length, we're going to keep it at 45. That is an option I'm going to speak about after. So I'm going to uncheck this. And then we have the camera shake presets. And our presets, we have none. There's no camera shake. We have custom. We have subtle, medium, and heavy. So I would just start with like a subtle. You can always choose whichever one you want, but we just start with a subtle. And now that all those options are all those options have been put in, we are going to say create camera. As you can see, our outline has been arranged. We have a group called cam with a call up. And now the cam, we have the 2 cameras that we created. We have shots 1,000, which is what our first shot is going to be, and then 1,010 because we have 10 as our interval. So just 2 shots. In these 2 groups, we have the camera. So I'm just going to delete this one so we can focus on one camera. And I must minimize the tool. So we have 1 camera in our Maya scene. So this is the shot we have. And it's like a regular camera, but added features. We have a focal length, which is 45 that we said. So you can always change this to whatever you want. 60, 20, 21, anything. Enable shake. This is what we use to enable and disable the shake. And also we have a blend mode in there, which is another nice thing we added. But having it turn on and off, adding a blend lets you animate that so you can go from no shake to some sort of shake. The random seed, just like it says, allows you to put in random values in your shake. Just so that if you create 2 cameras, they don't have the exact same shake. We have the shake frequencies. This determines how frequent he shakes or how much he shakes or how less he shakes. So a lower number is going to have it shake little and a higher number is going to have it shake a lot. Shake translation is mostly about the translation itself. And if we put this load value, more of a negative, right, to see how it does. Like almost put a value of 60 here, which is a high value. Then it goes crazy. So just go back to what he had, what he needs, which are the sweet spots for his subtle mode. Shake translate, this is mostly about the translations. If you add more values to it when you shake, you see how the shake has a lot of translation movements. You want to undo that. And this is more about the rotation. So when it shakes, it has a lot of, it's a mixture of a pitch, a roll, basically just targeting the rotation. So we'll put this back to 0. And now we have a stack on end frame. This is tied to a different tool. So I'll speak about it when I talk about that tool. Now, in the camera itself, you have the brains of everything which is in this group. Now, you do not want to delete this group. But say you wanted to create offsets for your camera. You can always put them in a group. But even with your camera as is, you can still key your camera like regular. Put your keys in there. And you see the camera still shakes, goes in there, does everything and still has the camera shaking there. if you want to offset your animation, like say, I want to put this animation in another group, so I can animate that group and animate that group. You can throw it into a group. I just got this GP1, like renaming myself. You can also throw that inside another group again, called this GP2, to go to. And you can do this over and over again. You can, your group 1, you can do a different key. And your group 2, for the offsets, you can see throw in the key. So right now, camera has 3 animations. Has animation from itself, has animation in group 1, has animation in group 2, but these are all housed under the brains, which is what you want to do. So if I scroll up to my timeline, it's doing the whole shoulder movement because we have that turned on, but it's respecting all the keys we have created. So that's that. And then last thing I was going to show you as well is the match active perspective camera option. So if I check this, what this would do is I'm going to create just look at this camera. What this often does, which is a very smart option, it will create this camera but from the perspective we're looking at. So say you are trying to line up a shot, or you found an angle of a shot that is really nice, but you want your camera to snap to this view. You want to say match active perspective camera. But if I do click this button now, it's going to throw up the message because we already have a camera here called 1000. Now we can't create another camera with the same name. Maya doesn't let you create or have 2 things with the same name. So if I hit create camera, it's going to tell us these cameras already exist. It will tell us exactly what that camera is and say okay, which means we have to look at our camera from a different name. I'm going to just do Betty, and somewhere around I'm going to create 1 camera. With this checked, I'm going to turn this out just so we can stay in the exact same view. So just to go and see where we are, and I'm going to hit create. It's going to create a new camera, still in the group called cam. Trying to stay organized. Give it a shot's name, give it all the values we have. We have 45, it's going to give it a 45 lens. Now it has 0 in shake. Well, you can see this has come on. Can you see this line? Oh, hello. This is telling us that we are now looking at the active camera. So I can always back out to my perspective, but the new camera we created is looking exactly at this shot. So if you have a new shot or you have an angle you found, you can always turn this on, create as many shots as you want, and it's be created. So that's all about this tool. Don't forget to go to Get About, check our website for more tools, and then always remember to buy us some coffee. Okay? Cheers. Bye.